I knew this event was in trouble the second I saw the slides. Every speaker was using the same template. Okay, fine. That is what the host wanted. Whatever. But then I started counting 50, 75, 100 slides for a 25-minute talk, and not just any slides, paragraphs of text so tiny you needed a microscope just to read them. And sure enough, during the event, the audience was lost. They were too busy squinting at slides to actually listen to some of these speakers, and some of them even asked to go back just to finish reading. And that's a problem. When you're running a virtual event, there is a fine line between keeping people engaged and accidentally pushing them into a disengagement coma. So be honest. How many slides did you use at your last virtual presentation? Go ahead. Tell me. I won't judge. I am here to help. And if you have been running virtual events or presentations for any amount of time, you've probably been told more content equals more engagement. You have probably sat through training after training about keeping your audience engaged and thought, okay, so I need more slides. I need more speakers. I need more interactive elements. I need more. I need more. I need more. But here's the truth. Engagement isn't about adding more. It's about focus. And a lot of things people do to keep engagement high are actually making their audience tune out. And slides, ooh, don't even get me started on the slides. Okay, because the slides, they're just the beginning. Because today, we are busting 5 of the biggest myths that are secretly sabotaging virtual events, and most people don't even realize it. Ah, yes. The belief that more slides means more visuals, which means people will stay engaged longer. In reality, too many slides do exactly the opposite. They turn your audience into passive readers instead of active listeners. Instead of focusing on you, they're scrambling to keep up with the text and the bullet points and those tiny charts that you spend way too much time formatting. And if they're reading, guess what they're not doing? Actually listening to what you're saying. I have seen this happen over and over again. Presenters flying through slide after slide thinking they're keeping the energy high while their audience is silently drowning in way too much information. And speaking of drowning, you know that feeling when you walk into an all-you-can-eat buffet thinking this is the time you are going to get your money's worth. But 15 minutes in, you are just overwhelmed. You have been sucked into believing that more content equals more value. That's what happens when you overload your audience with way too much information at once. It's not that your content isn't valuable. It's that when people feel overwhelmed, they retain nothing. And instead of leaving with an actionable takeaway, they leave with a headache. And I have watched event hosts be the worst at this because they think the solution is more speakers, which brings me to the next myth. More speakers equals a better event. On paper, having a stacked speaker lineup does sound like a no-brainer. I mean, it's more perspectives, it's more expertise, it's more engagement, right? No, because just like too much content, too many speakers creates the same problem, cognitive overload. And by the time your audience finds the speaker they actually connect with, boom, they're gone. Next person is up. Engagement resets back to 0. And if those speakers don't have a clear, cohesive flow, the whole event starts feeling like a disjointed TED Talk marathon. No connection, no continuity, just speaker after speaker dumping information and hoping it sticks. So what do event hosts do to fix this? They force engagement, which leads to our next myth. Polls are the best way to engage. Look, I have nothing against polls. That's a lie. I hate polls. But let's be honest. Most of the time, they feel like filler. You know the moment the host asks, let's do a quick, absolutely unrelated poll because someone told me I needed to add more engagement. I wish that I could say that last part was made up, but that literally came out of the mouth of a speaker at an event that I was producing. And at that point, it was too late to stop her. And then we all sit there awkwardly waiting for responses that never come because here's the truth. Polls don't equal engagement. Real engagement is when your audience is actively thinking, reacting, and emotionally invested in what's happening. A poll, that's just clicking a button or typing a number. It's not real engagement. It's not real interaction. It's a momentary distraction. And speaking of distractions, let's talk about the ultimate engagement killer. Sponsors that have absolutely nothing that my audience needs or wants should get speaking time. This one. This one right here. I get it. Sponsors pay good money for visibility, but if you let them hijack your event with a 20-minute product pitch for something that not even one person in your audience needs or wants, you're going to lose your audience. Because nobody signed up for an event to hear a sales presentation disguised as valuable content. And the moment people feel like they're being sold to, they disengage completely. And once people check out, it is really hard to bring them back in. Because a disengaged audience isn't just bad for your sponsors, it's bad for everyone. And by the time you finally get back to the actual event, half your attendees have already mentally left the building. So if these engagement myths don't actually work, what does? Structure and intention. And yes, of course, I have been actively using some of my methods throughout this entire video, one of which happens to be intentional direction. If you caught that anywhere in this video, say intentional direction in the comments. And then get ready for the next video because I am pulling back the curtain on how to design a virtual experience that keeps your audience hooked from start to finish without relying on gimmicks. Click here to watch it now, and if it's not there yet, go ahead and make sure that you're subscribed and click that notification bell so you don't miss it when it drops.